Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take another look here at ICP, see what's going on. It is still range bound in this rectangular pattern, and originally deriving from the downside implies further upside is still potential. We didn't get a close above that 1540 mark we talked about yesterday, so just keep in mind we're still kind of ranging for the moment, and until we break above or below, we can kind of presume this range will continue. Simple way to understand it though too is we got a local fair value gap here about 1467, kind of like right smack dab in the middle of that range there. So you can kind of see people are averaged out in this range. So that kind of helps us understand that that's potential support there. And with us making higher lows here and higher highs, there's a decent chance we could very well see the price continue up to break. But you got to recognize, folks, this is a weekend. Bitcoin's kind of stuck on stupid at that $100,000/$99,000 range. So that has a lot to do with it too. So again, Bitcoin maintains above 100K. I think most coins are going to continue to increase. We close below, we might see some tapering effect essentially. So we'll double check that. Thank you again so much, my community, for just awesome feedback. I appreciate always hitting the like button, commenting below. We got a really great ICP community. Congrats to our community members well here too. We got some nice little day trades, some scalps from Litecoin, that is Pole or basically a Matic, and then of course ICP as well for some good little 10% scalp there. So again, that's just my plus bot. That's a trading, basically a trading strategy I have in my day trading community. So anyways, what I want to talk about here with ICP is $16, $15.60. There's a lot of liquidation up there, okay? But you got to recognize too, macro-wise, there's way more to the downside. I don't think we're going to see 12 or lower anytime soon, but if we start getting close to those ranges, just know we got a lot of support in that range, but potential for a really nasty candle wick down, especially if Bitcoin were to start trending towards 90K. Just kind of, again, throwing it out there. Actually, let's look at the liquidation delta. It's pretty bullish right now. So most people are long on ICP right now, and I support that. I'm right there with it. I think a long makes a lot more sense than trying to take a short. The question is, where do you take a long? It's hard to say specifically. Generally, we want to try to take a long closer to the lower range that we're in right now. But again, that's easy to say for the moment, but we do have weird range bound activity. So again, that can be kind of weird. What I'm getting at here is open interest, 1450, 1440 as that next potential area of support. So again, as you kind of see this range here, we can see people are adding at 1440, 1470, and 1515. So all that being said, let's take a look at the dailies, see if we can work our way down and just kind of get better perspective. So all the moving averages are below the price. We're going to see that for a while. So this coin is going to reflect it's going to be bullish for a while, even if it is pulling back. So you got to recognize that. We do have a second stochastic swing to the downside with RSI getting closer to 70. So generally construed as a take profit target for a long position if we cross over that level. Okay. Again, it's not like it's a problem to secure profits. I mean, a lot of times I recommend to my community when I get the question, how much should I take? Well, oftentimes, your first take profit target should be a little bit more than 50%. So 60, 70%, somewhere in that range. We can see MACD is trying to diverge, but hasn't fully yet. So again, daily time frame is in pretty good shape. 4 hour, we're starting to see some cracks in the glass here, basically just stating the fact that we are under the 20-day SMA now, or at least for the moment, this is just a 4-hour candle, nothing crazy, but when you start to break these little lines of defense, we could see the price continue to pull back further. So just know that is kind of a slightly bearish sign, just letting us, giving us indication that we're not fully bullish right now. We're mostly bullish, and that's okay. That's a good place. But just because we're underneath that level doesn't mean you start shorting. It's just something we want to pay attention to make sure that we lose our trend lines. Losing the 50-day SMA is a different story altogether. For right now, it's kind of like that early sign letting us know that shift in momentum is happening. We can see that reflect on the RSI too. We keep basically testing this lower level. As RSI starts to pull back and the price action goes up, that is a type of divergence. I'll post a playout chart here shortly with indication of what that looks like and what that might mean for us. But generally speaking, when we see stochastic swing down, these are slightly bearish signs here. So for the most part, we're above majority support, but we're also shifting momentum essentially. You could even argue this is a double top, and then we're going to be pulling back in the relative near future. Okay. So again, just some things to kind of think about. Hourly time frame though, this is kind of a good indication of where we're at. We are tentatively within and or below the cloud. It's actually kind of above as well. It's hard to really say when the price action does this. And again, the cloud isn't the greatest for range-bound activity, which we are fairly well stuck within a range. So me personally, when I see something like this, I just kind of avoid trading it. I know it's not really what you want to hear because people want to know what good entries are and that you should go long to the moon with this coin. But you're never going to get that from me if the chart just doesn't tell us those things, right? We got a lot of shifts here occurring while the macro looks great, and it's going to because we're continuing to establish higher highs and higher lows, which is generally bullish. The 4 hours giving us an indication that momentum-wise we're losing that, and the 1 hour is telling us here that we're kind of in this weird little transition. So again, do you trade in situations where you have less of a success rate than you do in a situation where you don't? You gotta ask that question, right? Are you willing to risk taking a long at this point, or if it's better off to wait? So again, hypothetically, perfect world, we see the price action pull back down here to this low $14 range. That would be a much better consideration for a long, but we may never come down there, right? We got a decent amount of control here. We got a previous resistance area at about 1450, turn support. There's still a lot more reasons why the price should go up than down. Just know it's not a perfect situation. While it truly never is, this is a little less confirming than I would like to take a trade with, okay? Especially with all my bots opening short positions, it kind of makes me, a little pause for concern there, right? But again, those are scalps. They're in and out quickly. That's already said and done. So it's a very different world now than it was an hour ago. All right, folks, I hope that makes sense. I described that correctly. I'm sorry this isn't exact science, or I couldn't give you like a specific number or range, but I'll post a playout chart here shortly to give you kind of some indications of what I'm thinking is going to happen next. Again, we do close above this this rectangle pattern. That's what we're looking for a long. So again, this was a long confirmation, which we didn't get yet. We close above that 15-20 range. I think we're looking pretty good to see further upside. All right, folks, I hope you learned something. Have a great rest of your day. Deeply appreciate you watching. Don't forget to join us over with Bitunix. $12,000 deposit bonus this month. Link down below for that. And obviously, tune into our playout chart here coming soon. All right, folks, take care. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you.